I had some water. I'll be back. Okay. I'm back. I'm back. You know, let's take some deep breaths together. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. Okay. We just are, aren't we? We tend to overcomplicate things. I think it's because we forget. Well, we just overcomplicate things at times. But what I wanted to talk about today was this concept of just balance within. Mm. Mm. All right. I guess I don't really know what I want to communicate. I feel like there's many things that I want to say, but I'm not really sure at times how to articulate it in a way that comes through as genuine. 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 Because I think it's so easy for us to, it's easy for me, I'm not even going to point fingers at anybody. It's been a challenge trying to take off the mask and understand like who I am versus who I am today now versus who I was, and separating that, because it's been this mental battle where it's like when you wear a mask for so long it just becomes like your normal thing, which to the point where you like don't realize you're doing it, and it's such an easy thing to forget because it's like autopilot, like you have to like consciously fight it by being in each like present and now moment, which is like it's a practice in itself to stay in the present moment, right? Like we often get outside of that because we start thinking too far ahead and thinking about how we're coming across and how we're sounding. And it's really silly when you think about it, because it's like, why are we so concerned with these types of things when at the end of the day, it's like, why do you care what anyone else thinks of you? Like like, what is the saying I've heard? It's like, you should be the one person who thinks the most about yourself. Like, no one else should think higher of you than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, who else is going to do it? You're you. You have to be the one. You can't get that from anything outside of you. You never will. And this is why I think I've said this in some of the other videos. This is why when it comes back to like celebrities and artists and shit like that, it's like those people will like they can't find themselves. That's why they're like doing a lot of these different things. Like reaching and reaching and reaching and reaching, and it's just like, why are we even doing some of these things? Well, it's like people don't necessarily want to go inside and do the work, you know? Like they don't know what they're searching for. And some people do go within, and they do that work, and they do search, and they do find, and they get out there, and they still do these big bad things because that's what they want to do. Or do they? Probably. You know, you can have, like, things can, I guess that's what it comes down to, right? Like, things can exist simultaneously. Like, you can become and be somebody who is all about, like moral, being morally correct and leaning into like your rest and your play and your kind of like, you know, just like this energy of being free, and at the same time hold the energy that's the opposite. You can hold energy that's like very articulate, very specific, very decision decisive. See, that's not the stuff I like. I'm like, I'm over here. But the thing, I'm leaning this way. I'm balancing it out more. But the thing is, yeah. But the thing is it's so easy. Like, I don't even know if I'm gonna share this video because as I'm talking, it just feels like I'm like, oh, fighting through this, and I'm just like, get off of me. Huh. Huh. Goodness gracious. You know what? Yeah. Whew. It's wild. It's just wild. I don't know if I'm alone in this. Maybe I am alone in this. I have no idea. I don't think I am. And I think there are people who may be watching this video who don't realize that they have that mask up on a regular, because these things get ingrained at such a young age, like from psychological damage, that later on it's just like it's what you developed, and it just became your norm. It's your sense of safety, your sense of security. So it's literally just like a safety life mechanism that your body is automatically going into. So if you ever feel like you're like not in your body, or do you ever feel like you don't really know, like like you don't really feel like yourself when you're talking, or you don't really feel like you hear yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like there's underlying, I don't want to call them, there's things that need to be addressed. There's things that need to be addressed. And these things might be unconscious as well when it comes down to it, because I honestly believe there's probably a lot more trauma that has occurred that's occurred that's been unconscious than people realize, especially as it pertains, specifically as it pertains to mental health. I don't think mental health's real. I don't think it's not what they think it is, you know. And it's really messed up to have people thinking that something's wrong with them when in fact they're just actually very gifted. They're very gifted, and they need to learn how to function with their gifts. Duality and balance are essential for evolution. We have to learn to accept the light and the dark, not just the light. If you're just accepting the light, you're rejecting half of who you are. You were made this way. You were designed this way. There's no need to fight against that. Accept all parts of you, and you free yourself. Accept all parts of you, and you free others. We are all connected. We are all one. We are all one. We're all here to coexist as one. What this means is that we'll all see each other as one, but separate individuals. We see ourselves in everyone. Three earthquakes. One is bigger than the other. The third is bigger than the last two combined. Something about the mind. The first was today. Next Tuesday. And Friday. One mind. Personality. Well, that was different. I don't know if I'm gonna post this. Am I losing it? Is that for real? I did have a dream about earthquakes last night. 3 earthquakes. And one of them did start with a L. So, I mean, I was conscious there, but it felt like, I don't know. I did have a little bit of edible. Do people get like that when they take edibles and then like get back normal again because I'm not an actor either. It's not my thing. I can't really explain what that felt like. It was like I was in a trance. I think I'm here to be a communicator, like a communicator, a channel. That's the word. Man, I don't know if I'm gonna post this, but then again, why not? If I'm wrong, who cares? People think I'm crazy. I'm like, okay, I don't know you guys. Do I care what you think of me? What were we just saying? Oh my god, maybe that's. Oh my gosh, this is so weird. All right. Challenge accepted. All right, challenge accepted. Whether it's a test to see if I'll do it so that I might look insane, or whether it comes true. I'm posting this shit. Where was that earthquake though? It was yeah, it was a weird dream. There was like 3 earthquakes, and I remember like seeing a map and them just being like southern hemisphere for the first one, and then like still like further south, but like above the hemisphere, the second one, and then the third one, like near the Pacific coast of the United States. It's just like in my dream. I don't know. It's very strange. I haven't had any earthquake dreams, and I haven't been watching the news at all. So, yeah, you know. Shoot, what was it called? It was in Indonesia. Well, y'all can look it up. Earthquake Indonesia starts with an L, or sorry, not an L, an S. Because I kept thinking like trying to think of what S countries I knew, and I was like, no, it wasn't Sweden. It wasn't like Switzerland. I was like, what the heck was it? I think it's because I didn't actually know that country. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't really care. Whatever. This is hilarious. But I did have an earthquake dream. Just saying that. But, you know, maybe, you know, who knows? Who knows? Whatever test this is not, I'm here for it. All right, you guys. I've been really focusing on just like rest and going more inward and like really working on relaxing my nervous system. A lot of big things have happened in my life recently, which is hilarious because I know as I'm saying this, oh my god, that's wild. Okay, hold on, I need to write this thought down. Oh god, okay, I don't even know what the heck I was saying, you guys. Sorry, that was a long thought. It's just so funny because like I'm realizing as I'm talking how I'm gonna sound crazy to some people, because like I was a psychology major and I've worked with like a lot of people in mental health fields, and I know like the signs and the symptoms and what those things look like. And so it's interesting because I'm someone who's very spiritually inclined, and like the way that I'm seeing it is through that perspective at this point. And to me, like it's a spiritual problem. And like I think like it's just so interesting. Huh. It's so interesting how that works. Because like I'm thinking about like how oftentimes like unless doctors are talking to clients, like a lot of times people can get labeled with something, like when for all they know, like they could have been having a really intense spiritual experience and having an awakening and going through something like that. And it's like a lot of times you hear about like, you know, there's like major life stressors that occur, and like the psychologist psychiatrist will like look for to see if like these events occur to have someone like go and have like a manic episode or have this happen or have that happen, um this breakdown or this blow up. But it's like when you're on the spiritual path and journey, it can get really rough. And a lot of times what you often hear within the community and what I personally experienced is it's like you end up like it's just like you have to cut ties with so many people, and truths come out and people might get hurt and like things get shaken up. But it's like at the end of the day, like all you're really doing is like you're not shrinking yourself anymore. You're like utilizing your voice. You're healing through traumas if there are traumas, which I feel like we all have a trauma that we've been through. that we're meant to heal through. And some of it may be repressed. I had repressed trauma, and I had like other stuff I like that came through a way that was like not a tangible way I could prove, but like I know, you know. It's just so, it's so interesting. So it's like people fall away, and so people will look at that and they'll be like, oh yeah, they had a falling out with their mother at this time. And it's like, well, I didn't have a falling out. Like, or they'll look at your reaction and think that your reaction is not like up to par with where it should be, and you should be more hurt. And it's like, well, I'm not more hurt because I've been doing this work and I've been working up to this, and I understand why I spoke, like why, you know. It's just like, you know, the choices that you're making and why you're making them. You're very hyper aware, self-aware. So it's like, it's just so interesting. But when people are having like these spirit, well, I don't know if this is anything. This might not be anything at all, and then this will all just be funny, and it'll be like a it'll be like a, it's like a test for me to just not care what y'all are thinking, that I'm nuts. Which could, like, in itself, and it's like people hear that even think that that's like, oh, that's crazy. But it's like, no, like what that means to me, and this is like what faith is, right? It's like, like, because my mind will just twist it however I need it. Like, I'm gonna say however I need it to be, right? Because that's what faith is. It's just like, you have faith that it's like things are working out for you the way that they're meant to, and if something's happening, it's happening to you for a reason. So it's like, let's say this prediction was completely wrong. Prediction, I don't even know what that was. Let's say that was like, doesn't happen, right? Let's, yeah, I don't want that to happen. It's like, all that does is it forces me to humble myself more, right? It forces me to be like, okay, like, that was weird, that was silly, you were high, Jocelyn, I guess that's what happened. I had a little bit of an edible, not like that much. But like, you know, that's what happened, like, whatever, slough it off, who cares what people think? And just like move on with my day. You know what I'm saying? I might have mentioned this before in another video, but it's not like I'm a public figure, although if this happened, I'm pretty sure I would be a public figure. But from Russ, one of his songs, he said, being a public figure is constant immersion therapy. And to me, that line was like, I didn't get it. And then at one point I was like, oh, I get it. Because you're constantly under scrutiny. Like, no matter what you do or don't do, like, people are going to judge you. And so, yeah, related but not related, because, you know, I got what? I love all of you guys that are following me, by the way. Thank you so much. It means a lot. I just, like, brings me joy to know that, like, people are actually, like, getting something out of what I'm actually posting and sharing, enough to, like, hit the friggin' subscribe button, you know? Because, like, I got ADHD. I don't have ADHD because that shit's not real. Okay. You know, my attention seems to not be able to focus that easily unless I'm in tune with myself, unless I'm like focusing in on the present moment and making sure I'm like taking care of myself, spiritual health, mental health, physical health, all the things, everything's connected, right? Gosh. Yeah, see, I need to drink some more water and be done. This is like throwing me off because it was so unexpected. And the other thing right now that I'm within, like, my spiritual path and journey that I'm leading into is this idea that is referred to as the feminine energy. And within that, it's just like stepping into the 5D. It's just like about moving in a space that's not always logical. Like, you can't be in the logical mind. You just have to be in the now, in the moment, right? So like me doing all that was just like, just came out, like, which is like really difficult for me to do. And I have to be like really relaxed, which is something I've really been working on, right? Is that feminine energy of rest, because our feminine energy has a connection to the divine. So I've just been really focusing on like trying to just rest and relax and like not do things, not control, right? Like release that control, surrender, right? And like something I realized the other day was like, when it comes to those concepts as well, like, we're designed perfectly. We're designed to do things as we want to do them, right? We like certain things, we don't like other certain things. We want to try things. So as long as we're not limiting ourselves, like when you get to a certain stage on your spiritual journey, you have to surrender control. you know, and just trust that whatever happens happens for a reason. If things are teaching you lessons, like if it's taking you to an entirely new place that you've never been before, it's like you just have to go with it. Whew, having some, I don't know, feels like a release. Whew. Okay. Anyways, it's so funny because I know how I'm going to come across to some people, and if it's like it's not meant for those people, but it's just, yeah, I love it. I love it. Huh. I knew there was a reason I was so interested in mental health and studied psychology. Whew. There's a reason for everything. That's all I'm saying. A reason for freaking everything. Ugh. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go. I love you guys so much. Let's cross our fingers that there are no earthquakes, and this is just a big lesson for me. All right. Perfect. Well, I hope you guys are having a great day, evening, night, whenever it is that you're finding this message. And I will talk to you very soon. Okay. Bye.